At the Queen Sheba Ethiopian restaurant in Johannesburg, food and culture is celebrated regardless of political divisions. So when the civil war broke out between the national government and the Tigray People's Liberation Front in northern Ethiopia 2 years ago, owner Wandu Tesfaye said he was shocked.
It was very surprised for me, but what happened was I hope this war has to be over and peace has to be integrated in the country.
The United Nations says more than 5.2 million people are facing hunger as a result of the war, and international pressure to find an end to the fighting is mounting. Peace talks led by the African Union began last week in South Africa between the warring parties. That prospect of silencing the guns has given the Ethiopian diaspora hope.
I'm expecting right now what's going on in Ethiopia to have some kind of peace agreement in the country. Of course, South Africa, they chose it because of we do have a large Ethiopian community also in South Africa, but also the African Union involved a lot about it.
Political analysts agree an African-led solution is needed as the conflict affects the continent.
I think it stopped being an internal conflict with the introduction of Eritrean forces during the first wave of fighting, where we saw thousands of Tigrayans fleeing to neighboring Sudan. Even that in itself meant that it's a regional conflict because then the Sudanese were involved.
Instability is among the reasons why Eyop Bisrat said he left Ethiopia in 2002 to set up a business in South Africa. While it's been hard to watch the recent conflict unfold, he said he was relieved to hear the talks would be happening in his backyard.
South Africa has influence in the rest of African countries. So I believe, having the talk here, I definitely believe that, some sort of good outcome will come out of this. And I believe it's the right place. I couldn't think of any other country, to host it,
But experts warn the ongoing talks that have kept the public largely in the dark are only the first step in a lengthy process to achieving peace.
I think this meeting is really not negotiations to end the conflict, but to agree on what to negotiate on. If both parties can agree on the immediate cessation of hostilities and the allowing into Tigray uninterrupted humanitarian aid. So those are really the basics.
Details have not been released about the peace talks, meaning Ethiopians at home and abroad wishing for a declaration of peace will still have to wait. Linda Givetash for VOA News, Johannesburg.